have been a lot of reports and stories going around about Scarlett Johansson, about Elizabeth Olsen. There have been a lot of things about Scarlett Johansson, but about Elizabeth Olsen and whether or not she is or is not done playing Scarlet Witch. Now, of course, the last time we saw her was in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and she came to her end. And then we talked a couple of weeks ago about the official Marvel book came out and stated that she died, that Scarlet Witch died in that, right? And that's kind of where we left off. However, there is now a story going around that they might be looking at doing a Scarlet Witch movie with the showrunner of WandaVision coming in to do it. Now, this comes to us from the folks over at CBR who wrote the following. As revealed in a post from Scarlet Witch Updates X, which cites insider Daniel Reichman as its source, Marvel Studios wants a Scarlet Witch project to be a movie, with the company considering WandaVision creator and showrunner, I never know how to pronounce her first name, I don't know if it's Jack or Joss or whatever, Schaeffer, as director and writer for said movie. The rumor has been picking up steam, getting covered by various outlets. Currently, however, neither Marvel nor Disney have officially confirmed this claim, so it should be taken with a grain of salt. Okay. So I have two different trains of thought on this. Number one, Scarlet Witch, I believe Wanda had the single best character arc story in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. From her beginning and introduction in Age of Ultron to becoming a part of it, then all the problems and the things that came about, complications as a result of Civil War, her actions actually kind of causing the events of Civil War, then not being trusted, and then, then losing Vision, then losing Vision again. They started to see her untap power, and then we get into the events of WandaVision, and she finds something like this character, this woman whose entire life has been about loss. Everything in her life has been about loss. Losing her family, then losing her brother, then losing Vision, then basically losing the Avengers themselves and losing Vision again, and then having the events of WandaVision, which I thought is still the best show that Disney Plus has ever made. And she's got to lose Vision again, twice in the same show, depending how you look at it, and finally had kids that, while they weren't real, they were real to her. At the end of it, she loses her kids. And I love, while some people got their underwear stuffed up their pucker over the fact that they didn't like that Wanda would break bad, I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a character that has taken major loss after major loss and after major loss and finally says, fuck it. I have more power than anybody. I'm going to do something for me. I want my kids. And what more noble thing is there than wanting to get your kids, even though the kids weren't real? And that turn, I thought was created one of the most fascinating character stories and character journeys. And it had a tragic ending, but still one of the most fascinating, wonderful stories that the MCU has ever done. To return to this character, I'd be lying if I didn't say I would have a great deal of interest in that. Not to mention Elizabeth Olsen is one of the great actresses in the world today. She's incredible. That said, I don't believe the report. I believe there's a couple things that stop this from being true. Number one, everything that Elizabeth Olsen has said in the last 6 months or so really does seem like she's done. She loved her time in the MCU, but she's now done. And she's done some extensive interviews, even talking about the fact that, lamenting that, hey, being in the MCU meant I had to take a pass on a lot of projects I was really passionate about, and I couldn't do them because I was contractually obligated to do MCU stuff. And she wasn't dissing MCU, she loved it, but she talked a lot about being free of it. Her time was done. And everything she's ever said, unlike Chris Evans, who has danced around, river dance style, around all answering everything, she's been kind of direct. The second problem is, with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, you evolved Wanda to a level of power that I don't know what you do with her anymore. Now, you can depower her and try to tell another interesting story around that, I suppose, but I just think she was a character that broke bad as a result of all the tragedy, and then kind of had a Vader ending. With her last act, she kind of redeemed herself. And I honestly think that's it. I think it's over. Now, I love that we get to go back to that world with Agatha and the Darkhold Diaries. Is that what it's called today? Or did they change it again?
Is Darkhold
Covenant,
Diaries?
it was Covenant of Chaos?
It was Covenant of Chaos, and then I think it was
Darkhold Diaries?
I'm going to look it up because they've changed it like twice.
Yeah, they've changed it several times. I think we're on Darkhold Diaries. We might have changed.
I think it's Covenant of Chaos.
No, I think that was the first one. I think that was the first
Diaries.
It is currently Darkhold Diaries. So
that's what I said.
Yeah, whatever he said.
That's what I said.
Same thing.
So we're going to get to go back to that and have a little bit of a taste of that. We're going to get to have witches and all that kind of stuff in the MCU. So while I will be open to it if it turns out to be true, and I don't know that it's not, I'm just saying right now, Chris, that I don't buy the report. I think we have seen the last of her, although I'll be open to it if she does. Guys, we want to take a moment to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. Give yourself the gift of insane savings this holiday season with Mint Mobile's best wireless deal of the year. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another 3 months for free. That's 6 months of premium wireless service for the price of 3. And Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Seriously, I can't think of a better gift than turning an overpriced wireless bill into just $15 a month with Mint Mobile. I've told you guys many times, since switching to Mint Mobile, I am spending less than a third on my mobile service plan with Mint than I was on the previous big carrier who was my provider. By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. So again, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. You heard this. You think there's any truth to it? Would it be a good move for Marvel to do? I don't know. How do you see this?
Well, she died.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
She died, and that was confirmed by the MCU's official timeline of her pulling the mountain down upon her, thus ending 2 of the greatest threats in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That being said, both in the comics and in the MCU, because of multiverses and magic and all kinds of fun things, death really doesn't matter.
It's the Marvel fake death cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Yep.
No one's permadead. So she could come back. And she's a really great actress, so maybe she's really good at lying. Yeah. She did that Moscow theater training, and she was like, I've got this, guys. Don't you worry, Kevin. I can lie through my teeth. So maybe she could come back, but everything does point to her wanting to do more prestige films. And that's not to say the MCU is not prestigious. Yeah, but she wants to do, a lot of A24 kind of things. She wants to do things that she kind of cut her teeth on. She was an indie darling before she entered the MCU. She has an extensive stage background. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm sure she wants to dive into, that having a very rigorous both filming and training schedule. I know that Scarlet Witch isn't one of the characters who has to beef up a whole bunch, but still, when you're in these movies, it's a lot of physicality. That really cuts into your timetable. Plus, you usually are on location, so it really goes into your time as well doing other things. You have to be fully committed to this. And that's great. What a wonderful opportunity for you. But if it's something that you've been a part of for several years, I can understand wanting to move on. And I'm sure it would have to be, again, a really great project for her to want to put those other things on hold to come back. But I'd never say never.
But if you had to put $5 down on it now, are we going to see Scarlet Witch live action, not in the stupid what if? Are we going to see Scarlet Witch in the MCU again, do you think?
Secret Wars.
Really? You think she will come back for that?
If they were going to bring her back, you could bring her back in that, just because everyone comes back in that.
Yeah, she's going to come back.
You think so?
Oh, not her. Not necessarily the actress, but that character is going to come back.
Here's what's interesting. Because this has always been a point of contention ever since they brought in Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, is comic book lineage. Because traditionally, I know they've retconned and they've made changes, I know. But traditionally, Pietro and Wanda are daughters of Magneto.
Yeah, maps them off.
Right? They're daughters of Magneto. And guess who Marvel has control of again? Mm-hmm. The X-Men. So it creates some very interesting possibilities. I mean, listen, with them probably merging in different realities to create one reality and get rid of multiverse, it could very well be that we have a Scarlet Witch character that is not Elizabeth Olsen. It could be like a variant becomes now part of our world or something like that. But I think Elizabeth's done. I think she is. Again, that's just my guess, just guessing. So maybe I'll be wrong about that. We'll find out. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.